to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve, and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last build, we went video game when we built the shock grenade from Star Wars Battlefront. And if you missed that build, we're going to include the link to the channel's homepage in the description below so you can go and check out shock grenade or any of the other super cool builds we have there. And now for this build, we're going to go games. Not video games, just games. So without further ado, Black Sheep Props would like to introduce you to the newest member of the family. Whew. That's right, check it out. Wow. The Defender Shield from the game Deadzone. Check that out. Pew, pew. Man, this thing is so jamming. And by the way, this is not actual size. In the game, these shields are as big as a person, so you can totally stand behind the shield in the game, but we're not going to go that crazy. So we went probably, I don't know, half size, maybe 3/4 size, something like that. But man, this thing is cool. So easy, really big, but really easy. A couple little spots you got to wrestle, make sure you're lined up right, but nothing hard. Look at this thing, man. It's dirty and worn out. It's got the military green on there and a bunch of black and some silver metal. And really simple build. But then we came in afterwards and we're going to damage it up. We're going to dent it up. We're going to put all this shrapnel scarring in here. And we're going to paint it up to look all weathered and beat up, which is fun. Weathering and damaging is fun. Awesome, gonna be great. So in this episode, making an EVA foam Deadzone Defender Shield Part 1, we're gonna begin going step by step through this monster. And if you want to build your very own Defender Shield, we've got a template for this baby. So we're gonna include the link in the description below to the storefront, so you can go there and pick up a template if you want and build along. So enough of me flapping my gums. Time to shut the pie hole. If you're ready to hit it, let's make some. All right, here we go. This is most of our shield, except for the frame that goes around the outside of it. And we just transferred our templates over to different thicknesses of foam. We go everywhere from like a 4mm up to a 24mm, which is an inch thick. And we just transferred our pieces over. Now we're gonna begin cutting out. And we also, let me move these out of the way. We also transferred our main central piece of our shield over. All right, so here we go. Now to cut these grooves out, we want them to be beveled trenches. So what we're going to do is we have to be careful not to cut all the way through the foam. We're gonna come in with our X-Acto knife. We're gonna tip it on an angle. And we're gonna come through on an angle, just like this. All right, now let's spin this around. Do the same thing here. We're gonna stick in on an angle, but not go all the way through the foam. Look at that. That is nice. Look at that. This out of the way. Now let's come into this side right here. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go in, just like that. Cut the top and watch this. Oh, good. It's very nice. We're carefully going right through the exact center. All right, there we go. Look at that. Oh, wow, is that cool? All right, so see now what we did here is we kept the beveled edge right here a little bit, which is what we wanted. Right to go right through the middle and right through the middle. All right. And don't fly by your hand at 100 miles an hour. We don't want to be taking the thumb off. Right in our corner. Go right. There we go. Wow, is that nice? Real. All right, now we're going to start knocking all these pieces out. Really simple. That's it. That easy. We're just going to go through all these pieces, do the same thing. All right, that easy. There was a bunch of straight cuts with our box cutter. On this, I believe this is either 6 or 8 millimeter, and we're gonna. All right, there we go. There's all 4. Now, there we go, just like that. Now we're just gonna knock out all these. Nice. All right, let's move on. All right, now we've got this thin piece of 4 millimeter, and we've got some circles we gotta cut out. So we're gonna do. All right, there we go. Okay, now we've got this thick piece. What we're gonna do is we're gonna slide over to the bandsaw with this one. We're gonna knock it out on the bandsaw. Okay, there we go. We cut that out on the bandsaw, and the reason we have these lines on here is we drew from this line to the corner here, and this line to the corner there, and we're gonna knock that off now. So we're gonna. Wow, really cool. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our dust mask on, we're gonna bring our Dremel in, and we are going to round off all the edges of this piece and take off the knife marks. Now we're gonna come in with our 220 real quick, and we're just gonna, oops. All right, we're taking off all of our bandsaw marks. We're gonna come in with our heat gun, we're gonna seal it. All right, there we go, check that out. Beautiful, nice round edges. We tightened up our foam. Look at that, very cool. Okay, while we have our Dremel out and our dust mask on, we're gonna round off these 4 rivets, just the edge. Ooh, yeah, that tightens up nice. All right, there we go, and rounded off edge and sealed. All right, there we go. We just slightly knock down that edge so it's not square. And now we'll do it on these 3. We made our marks here, 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 and here. So we know that these pieces are going to be centered. And then we also made these marks here, 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 and here. And then the little cross mark where we want to line it up so we know we're going to have them all in the same spot. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come in here with some super glue. Hold it while it bonds, and that's it. Super easy. Just gonna go around and do them all. We're gonna make sure we don't contact cement inside these circles right here because we don't want contact cement there. It wouldn't be the end of the world if it was. Nice, and we already have this piece drawn right up here. So it's that's it. Get over. All right, there we go. Now we've got everything cemented. Give it a few minutes till it dries. All right, there we go. We got a little bit of the edge right here because it's gonna touch up against this piece right here. We're just gonna let it sit and dry. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. Touch down right here at the front. I'm gonna make sure that we're on our Sharpie line, which we are. We're going to line up over here, which we are in a good spot. We're gonna put this all down. There we go, just like that. Very cool. This is nice up here, I like this. Okay, so here we've got a huge piece of 2mm foam, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide our piece in and we're going to cement it down on this piece. That way when we start to put our stripping down, there's something to attach it to. All right, now we have our mark. And we know this is what we have to cut out because we want to be able to see all the way through. And just to make sure that we have a safe space, we're going to cut a little bit larger than the window. And we don't have to be exact because it's going to be hidden. All right, there we go, just like that. Now, just take your time, coat the whole thing. Some people like to pour it out and then brush it around with a big brush. You can do that, or you can just take your time, go around the whole thing, dipping your brush in your glue pot. All right, there we go. This side's covered. Let's move it out of the way. All right, woo, that's a lot of contact cement. All right, we're gonna let this dry. The other one's already drying. A couple minutes and then we're sticking them. We're gonna stick down up at this corner. We're gonna tap it down just like that. We don't want to stretch it. We're gonna get the edge all stuck down. Okay, there we go. Hot dog, look at that. Man, this thing's coming together. It's looking like a shield. And okay, now we've got these two pieces of foam that are going to be our outer frame for our shield, and they're on 1/2 inch thick foam. And what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to do all the outside cuts with our box cutter. All right, now for these inside corners, we're going to come in with our X-Acto knives. Let's put a really sharp blade in. Right through our point, right there in the corner. There we go, look at that. Nice sharp corner there, very cool. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to round off the edges with our Dremel. So all right, there we go, slightly rounded off edges. All right, there we go. Give it a couple minutes. All right, here we go. Now we're gonna have to do a little bit of stretching. So we gotta make sure we don't let any of this touch down. We're gonna come up, we want this front edge flush, just like that, which we've got. There we go, just like that. We fit it perfectly into these corners. That is really tight right there. We're going to have to do a little bit of stretching here because we want the end down here to line up flush. And we're a hair short, so we're going to stretch. And looks like we are spot on right there. All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to do this big piece on this side. Give it a few minutes. All right, now we're going to begin sticking this one down, and just like we did before, you got to really be careful here because you don't want it sticking down anywhere until you're ready. So, okay, now we know we're anchored right here. Okay, now we're going to stretch just a little bit to get the corner to match up perfectly. Beautiful. We matched right up at our corner. We are looking pretty good. Now, there it is. Bing. Good grief, that's a whole lot of foam. Man, oh man, look at that. All right, now we transferred our piece over. Okay, here we go. We cut our piece out on the bandsaw, nice and tight, straight edges. All right. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our dust mask on and we're gonna Dremel this edge right here to be a bevel. right, look at that. That is nice. We've got a beveled edge all the way around the outside. That is sweet. All right, let's clean this mess up and then we'll move on. Wow, love this. This turned out great. All right, here we go. Now we're gonna have to do the same thing we've done before. We're gonna have to stretch areas to have it fit. So we're gonna come in and we're gonna start right down in this corner, like so. All right, now we're locked down here. We're tight here, we're tight in this corner. Now we're gonna pinch in a little bit. We need to gain a little room here. There we go. Now here we're gonna have to stretch because here we're a tad short. There we go, we're down and we are down. Look at that. We've talked about this before. You're gonna have to wrestle. You gotta show it who's boss. Even though our templates were perfect, once you start gluing and you start stretching foam and it starts to buckle a little bit and maybe give a little bit and tighten a little bit, once you start sticking down, you can't just lay it down. You have to do exactly what we did. Look at that, that's tight in that corner, here, 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 and here. Perfect. Just a little bit of wrestling. Okay, now we're going to get out our Dremel and our dust mask and we're going to round off the top and the bottom of this piece and it's going to fit right in here. All right, now we're going to come in with our 220 just to soften the edge up a little bit. All right, there we go. Nice rounded edges here, slight rounded edges there. Now this is going to come in right here. So we're going to put our Sharpie mark down, just like that. There. Now we're going to give it a couple minutes to dry, then we'll make contact. All right, we made contact right down in here. Now we're going to smush this up against it so that it totally makes contact. Ooh, look at that. That's nice and tight right there. Perfect. Like a glove. Look at that. Tight. All right, we're going to stand our X-Acto up. And we're going to pivot all the way around our circle. That's it. Now we do the other three. All right, there's all four. Now we're going to seal them. Super glue and an extra piece of foam as a squeegee. We're going to center it right over that crosshair just like that. Hold it down while it bonds. All right, there we go. Simple. All right, now just to be able to handle everything a little easier, I'm going to cut outside of our piece, just like that, to get a bunch of the excess off. All right, there we go. We cut off a bunch of our excess just so we've got room all the way around the piece. Helps us maneuver on the table a little better. Okay, now we need to create these little wraps that are going to go right over this frame right here. So we're going to come in. We've got our two pieces marked out. They're a lot. All right, there we go. We're going to line right up on these two edges right here. And we should have exactly the positioning we want. Right there and right there. All right, cool. All right, now what we're going to do first is we're going to Dremel the edges of these two pieces so they have a nice soft edge. So, all right, there we go, a nice soft edge. Now we're going to, and then right here, we're going to get a little bit right down here at the base. That's where we're going to anchor it, and a little bit right here. All right, give it a few minutes. All right, here we go. Now we're ready. We've got cement at the bottom and a little bit of the side, and here we've got it on down here and against the side. So we're going to come in, mark up right there and right there, and then we're going to come in and push it up against here. All right, now we're anchored. We're anchored down at the bottom. Let me show you where. We're anchored down here at the bottom, and we're anchored right here against this edge. All right, so that baby's locked in, man. That is locked in. All right, while this is drying, we're going to come in, get this edge as well, because we're going to wrap it right. All right, now we have this and this cemented. We're just going to let everything set up and then. All right, now what we did is we cemented these two sides as well, but this is now dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold this down real tight, and we're going to take this and we're going to fold it down real tight like that. Look at that. Wow. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this right around the end. Perfect. All right, there it goes. Now, lay it down just like that. Tight down like that. Stick it down. All right, look at that. We're going to flip it around. There we go. And then when you lift it up to the side, look at that. It goes right over the edge. Really cool. All right, really easy stuff. Now we're going to come in and make a center mark. And we're going to put those two little rivets on there. Smooth it out. Stick it on. Look at that. Right in the middle. Squeegee the bulk of it off. Look at that. Rounded edges. We've got the rounded edges on the sides of our straps. It's curving up over the frame. That's a nice little detail right there. Wow. Love it. Love it. Whoa, man. That was a lot of building right there, but easy. Totally easy. You can totally nail this. So there it was. You saw us go ahead and use our cool technique with our X-Acto blade to cut the beveled trenches in between these pieces so it looks like several different sections of steel put together. We did all of our little steel details up the middle, our window frame, and then we built the big frame around the outside, which was the only part that was kind of tough. We had to wrestle it, get it into the corners and line it up. Don't let that foam boss you, man. Boss the foam. And that was it. Not bad. Really easy stuff and super fun. So that concludes making an EVA foam Deadzone Defender Shield Part 1. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.